Have aliens altered the genetics of experiencers? Well, let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, the other day I raised the question, have aliens, altered the genes of abductees and contactees? They seem to abduct people, as a generational event or a generational, process where they seem to be tweaking genes over generations. And by the way, I'm certainly not the first person to wonder that. That's been a long-standing question. Why do beings abduct people, and why do beings seem to abduct people over generations? That is, if you're an abductee, one of your parents, at least one of your parents, is likely to be an abductee, and so on. So why are they doing this? Are they tweaking genes over generations? Well, this new scientific paper seems to suggest exactly that. Alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. Bonkers new study claims. Well, that is bonkers. But here is the study itself from ResearchGate. Preliminary evidence of traces of alien genetic manipulation in humans. Now, it does say preprints in early stage research may not have been peer reviewed yet. So this has not been peer reviewed. And in the paper, they use terms like extraterrestrial, which I, kind of raise an eyebrow about. Is that something that's going to be peer reviewed? I mean, you can't exactly fact check whether that's ET or not. You might be able to say it's unknown DNA, but, can you actually say it's extraterrestrial? Here is one of the pertinent sections of the paper. Abstract. I analyzed DNA from 581 complete families in the 1,000 Genomes Project to search for non-parental genetic contributions that could indicate recent alien genetic manipulation. So I think that's really interesting. Non-parental genetic contributions. Your parents didn't give you this DNA, somebody else did. But he does say alien genetic manipulation. He also uses the word extraterrestrial. So I question whether that's something that can be peer reviewed. He is a PhD, but I have serious questions about that. My screening of variants in 77 megabytes on chromosome 3 identified 11 families containing large fragments of DNA sequence in children that matched neither human parent. The most significant case displayed a cluster of 348 non-parental genetic variants with precise simultaneous substitution of identical fragments on both chromosomes. There is no known biological mechanism or technical error that could produce such a change. Achieving such a genetic manipulation at the time of conception with current methods is possible, but difficult using CRISPR technology, which emerged in 2013. Since the studied children were born before 1990, human genetic manipulation cannot be an explanation of the observed 16 kilobytes substitution, or KB. Maybe it's not kilobytes or megabytes. Maybe it's whatever KB is, substitution in homologous chromosomes. There is strong evidence for extraterrestrial genetic manipulation. Yeah, but is there? I mean, can you really say it's ET? I mean, they could be crypto-terrestrials, other dimensionals. We don't know who's doing this. Maybe the research itself is sound, but the way he's putting this out there doesn't sound like anything that's going to be peer-reviewed to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be wrong about that. But there is a breakdown here on this article from the New York Post that's a little easier to read. Alien DNA found inside humans. It was inserted into our genes. Is it the invasion of the genome snatchers? Just in case the idea of aliens walking around in human skin suits wasn't frightening enough, an outlandish study asserts that aliens might have abducted us and inserted genes into human DNA, with the fallout affecting potentially millions of people. Humanity may be undergoing genetic transformation. Lead researcher Dr. Max Rempel, the founder and CEO of the DNA Resonance Research Foundation, told the Daily Mail of the study, which has yet to be peer-reviewed. Rempel came to this far-fetched seeming conclusion by analyzing DNA from both regular people and those who have claimed to have been abducted by aliens. This comes following a spike in UFO sightings over the last year, making many fear that we are on the verge of some not so friendly close encounters. The scientists specifically analyzed 581 complete families from the 1,000 Genomes Project, discovering large sequences of DNA in 11 families that didn't appear to correspond to either family. These genetic aberrations entailed a bundle of 348 non-parental genetic variants. As the subjects were born before 1990, this ruled out human gene editing technologies like CRISPR. Rempel also analyzed 23andMe results from individuals who self-identify as alien abductees, discovering that some families showed evidence of non-parental markers. And you can find this through 23andMe. Interesting. If this evidence is confirmed, the alien prober feels that it would, I guess he's the alien prober. Okay, interesting, because he's probing into aliens. All right. The alien prober feels that it would be possible to detect which humans carry alien DNA, essentially identifying hybrids. Yeah, that sounds nuts, guys. I mean, if we started testing people for alien DNA, everybody had to submit to, DNA screens and samples. What world would that look like? That sounds horrifying. At the same time, you can understand the impulse that would lead to that. And how would that affect abductions going forward? Would they, the beings, would they then try to mask the signatures of the abductions? Would they, the genetic signatures, whatever they're doing, make it in a way that's untraceable? Maybe they wanted us to find it. Maybe they're leaving these markers for us to find, leaving little breadcrumbs. Once we got advanced enough to analyze DNA, we would recognize this and maybe we could figure some stuff out. Interesting idea. The ET enthusiast even claimed that noted a good portion of those with autism, ADHD, and Asperger's and other neurodivergent traits could contain these alien insertions, although he noted that this is speculation at this point. He even suggested that these ET genetic modifications could bestow humans with unusual abilities, like telepathy, much like Ellen Ripley's psychic abilities in the sci-fi sequel, Alien Resurrection. Okay, that's all speculation, but, I guess that's where we are now. Wixie is wondering that too. Alien DNA tampering could have even bestowed people with telepathic abilities. So that's nuts, guys. I think that's about all we know at this point. We'll have to see where this story goes. Definitely super fascinating and a little terrifying. But let me know what you guys think. Are the beings changing the genes of experiencers, of contactees, of abductees, tweaking genes over generations? That definitely is what it seems like to me. Now, the idea that they could be inserting their own DNA is also really interesting, a little terrifying, but I guess it's, makes sense when you consider the Nazca mummies, which have unknown DNA and which look honestly kind of like gray aliens, right? So maybe that's exactly what's going on. Maybe the gray aliens themselves were created through some sort of process like this. Really, really interesting. I don't imagine this is going to be peer reviewed. I'd be shocked if this got peer reviewed, but I'd love to be shocked. I'd love it if the scientific community started embracing concepts like aliens and extraterrestrial genetic modification, as terrifying as that is. That might very well be what's going on, and somebody needs to wake up and face it. So we'll see how this plays out. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.